All right. Welcome in to our Week 11 recap over here on Dynasty Down Under, hosted on Ballboy Talk. Dynasty Down Under is our league of 12 bandits who are fantasy basketball junkies, NBA junkies, and dynasty junkies, all mixed into one great, amazing league to where we all get to have fun and experience some dynasty fantasy basketball. Welcome along to our Week 11 of our first year in our dynasty league. It's been super fun getting to, deep dive into the NBA this year, 11 weeks through, and it's been a ton of fun. So, as things stand right now at the end of week 11, it's Sunday night. Games are pretty much over. Pavola and Popovich won. They're improving to 6-5 on the year. They beat me, Fox and Furiance, and I fall to 5-6, and they improve to 6-5. The Puzzini dynasty will fall to 5-6 as well, while All Balls No Bite will improve to 6-5. Discount Presti will fall again to 2-10 now after losing to that blue guy who improved to, lo and behold, 5-6. Poppin' with Tebow has another impressive week as he improves to a league best 10-1 over Thug Life AB Pack, who falls to 6-5. Imagine that. The Mitchman 95 falls to 7-4 after losing to Infinity Win Beyond, and he improves to 8-4, while Mitchman falls to 7-4 or 8-3, and then Mitchman falls to 7-4. The Grannies continue their winless season as we enter week 12 now, as they fall to 0-11. While Magic Claws improves to, you guessed it, 5-6. So the standings as they are right now, we're looking at Poppin' with Tebow, probably Infinity Win Beyond, Mitchman, Thug Life will be 6, and then all the 6-5 teams, and then our 5-5 teams, and then Discount Presti and the Grannies to round out the league. So nothing too crazy going on. We did have a couple trades this week to talk about. Lots of news to talk about this week. So we're going to jump right into the news of the league first. We had two trades, bunch of trade block moves, but we saw Jaylen Brown. We saw Timmy received OG on a newbie, a 2024 first and 2025 second for Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen Brown went over to the jury for that same package. So pretty good package. OG on a newbie hasn't quite clicked with the Knicks yet. Jaylen Brown is an all-star, an all-NBA type player right now in his prime. So great dynasty pickup, great outlook. OG on a newbie, great pickup. Wherever he goes next season, if he stays in New York, takes the extension with the trade, then he will be locked up and he'll be in a really good spot overall if he stays in New York. I really like him staying there. We had another trade to announce. I was involved in this one. I was on the receiving end of Bojan Bogdanovic, Grayson Allen, Emmanuel Quickly, Josh Giddey, and a 2025 first, to where I sent off Santai Aldama and Franz Wagner, which I'm not too mad about. I really love the pieces that I got in this trade to be able to round out the end of my lineup, my utility spots, my bench, just to really solidify my guard and to solidify my team as a whole. And the 2025 pick could pay dividends in a couple of years from now. Of course, we have more guys on the trade block, up and down, free agents being picked up. There's too many to go through. I don't want to bore you with all that news. But, so we'll jump over to the NBA news. That's pretty much our league recap for the week. So, kind of where things stand. So, it's been a ton of fun. Lots of dynasty moves and news. So, I'm really excited for how the season's shaping out. Very competitive, very tight-knit, cutthroat. You got to make the right moves throughout the season. So let's go back to last week. The Pistons won. I was very surprised the Pistons won. That was a pleasant surprise. We love that for the Pistons. The Nets are intending to build around Mikal Bridges and not trade him, which means they'll trade auxiliary pieces. Not unlikely, they'll trade De'Aaron Sharp and Nick Claxton. Those guys are really solid in the rotation, but they plan to build around Mikal Bridges and not trade him, which I thought was really interesting, and I love that for him. I love that the Nets have this dude who they're committed to, and they're building around him, and they're committed. I think that's just fantastic. Let me go try to find a Nets player real quick so we can kind of see who they may end up like trading and trying to keep. Maybe not. Maybe I'm look up the roster. Lonnie Walker. So Sleeper has this really cool feature to where you can go in and you can look at players and their team. So right now at point guard there's Spencer Dinwiddie, who I would fully expect to get traded. Dennis Smith, who they will likely try to hold on to, but could trade. Cameron Johnson, small forward. I highly doubt they trade Cameron Johnson. Lonnie Walker, I can definitely see them trading him. Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, definitely see them moving those guys. Noah Clowney, Dariq Whitehead, Nick Klastig, Darren Sharp. I don't see them moving any of these bigs at the current time. So that's kind of where I land on the Nets and some of their pieces. So they have pieces to move. They're not great pieces to move, but they're enough to sell off to bring in better rotational pieces or to use several of them plus some draft capital to go and get better. And that's the goal. Just get better. That's the name of the game. I put up a bunch of players on the trade block this week. Let's skip over that. The Wizards are seeking multiple first-round picks in a trade for Kyle Kuzma. No surprise here. I mean, it makes total sense. That's kind of been the rumor all along. They were looking for a big package in return for him. Save the Warriors news for the end of this segment because I actually want to pull up their last couple games, kind of see exactly where we're at with them. Could have sworn there was more news beyond that. Something really interesting that happened was that the Raptors were looking like they were getting aggressive on trading Pascal Siakam. The Kings were involved; they were top 3 landing spot, and then all of a sudden they were done. And then Siakam came out, started talking about the rumor, said he doesn't pay attention to the trade buzz, which is helpful. You don't need him paying attention to the trade buzz. You don't want guys paying attention. John Collins is actually actively being explored. We've talked that Tyrese Maxey says that quickly is going to get a big deal after being traded. They were teammates at Kentucky. He's due for a great payday coming this offcoming season. Raptors are still rolling out the same 4 since the trade, and they've been very successful since that OG Anunoby trade. Yes, they lost to the Pistons, and the Pistons, I was joking, won the OG Anunoby trade. But that's neither here nor there. The Sixers, they were playing hard ball. They were really working on their rotation. They were really getting it together. So it was looking a lot better overall. I didn't know the Knicks waived Taj Gibson, but they're expected to be active before then. Dennis Smith has been playing super well, gaining the hearts of Nets fans everywhere. I'm trying to see here. If there's just anything I'm just missing here. I don't want to miss any rumors. There wasn't a ton of rumors. It's more just the same. The Siakam, Pistons, Pacers, Kings are coming out of their top landing spots. DeJounte Murray, Lakers. The Raptors are actually being seen as sellers. They want to build around. Who did I say they wanted to build around? They don't. They want to build around Trey and Jalen Johnson, which means Capella, DeAndre Hunter, Bojan Bogdanovic, Clint Capella, Hunter, Bogdanovic, and Murray are all options to be traded. The Hawks are very much listening to all players on the guys ahead of the February deadline. They're about a month out from the deadline, so things could get hot and heavy very quickly. I would not be surprised at all. The Lakers are saying they have no imminent plans to part ways with Ham. So they're expected to keep him until LeBron says, bring me a new coach. See what happens. However, there's growing disconnect between the head coach and the players around the rotation and adjustments. So they just they're not seeing eye to eye. We see their reports all the time. Many teams are thinking that the Knicks aren't done. They're still eyeing guys like Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, and just to kind of be all over. Zach LaVine, there was nothing this week on Zach LaVine, which is surprising because his name has been up every single week. But when he's hurt and things like that, of course, he's not really going to come into fruition. Couple rumors here. The Knicks won't heavily pursue Donovan Mitchell, but if it happens, it happens. The Warriors, I guess, last year talked about an OG on a newbie trade, but it didn't never materialize into fruition. So let's talk Warriors. Let's talk Warriors because I thought this was just crazy interesting. Um, Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody both came out on the same day last week saying, basically, Kuminga saying, I lost faith in Steve Kerr. I'm never going to reach my potential here with the Warriors. And then we see Moody come out, it seemed like within the same hour, saying, yeah, it's not happening here. It's never going to happen here. My camp, and his agents, his representation is like, we're never going to get the playing time. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. And then now we've been seeing rumors of Andrew Wiggins getting traded. They're listening to offers on him to include him in deals. I love them as a fit for Pascal Siakam. I think he'd be great. However, the Mavs, the Grizz, the Hawks, the Kings, or Pacers are all linked with the Pacers, Pistons, and Kings, I believe, the top three, but we'll see. So back to the Warriors, I really think that they're a great fit for Pascal Siakam, just based on need. They have the money to move around to bring him in, to give the pieces to the Raptors that they would want. And then we'll also see them, they could use a big like Siakam. I think that'd be great. However, I will stay in this camp. My brother, he's a Warriors fan as well. He doesn't see it, but I see the need to move, move Draymond, move Klay, really let some of these young guys play this year, be right there on the edge of the playoffs, because I think they can still make a play-in spot, even if they were to trade like Klay, Draymond, and Wiggins and let some of these young guys roll out there. And bring in pieces like Siakam and whatnot to really help this team get over the hump and shake up the locker room a little bit. Going back here, the Hawks, like I was saying, so for Kuminga, there's plenty of teams. Kyrie came out and said, Cuban, go get him, with the Mavericks. I think that would be a great fit for him. It would give him a lot of opportunity there to work with Kyrie and Luka there. I think that would just be a phenomenal landing spot there in Dallas, and they could use him. But I want to see what else was cooked up there. But they're also remaining reluctant to trade him in certain deals. Like a Moody and Kuminga for Siakam deal would be more or less perfect. It gives the pieces to the Raptors that they would want, younger rotational pieces who can start right now, keep playing, and they can build around Scotty Barnes and Quickly and Barrett there. Kuminga would slide in perfectly to a four spot there. Absolutely love that idea there. Barnes, you do a Barnes, Barrett, Kuminga kind of lineup. I think that would be amazing. You can get Moody as a sixth man coming in there. You would have a Barnes, Quickly, Barrett, Kuminga kind of lineup, playing some great small ball there. But I think that would be a great 4 out of 5 there, with Jakob Poeltl there as a 5 to clean up the glass. I think would be really, really beneficial there. Allegedly, Buddy Hield is on the trade block. I can definitely see Boston as a fit here. They're wanting those bench guys to really be able to give them a splash. The Warriors are expected to make a trade before the February deadline. So as I was saying about the Warriors, they need to make a move. Moody and Kuminga will 100% be traded with the things that they said. It just makes too much sense. It just makes sense. I wouldn't also be surprised if Steve Kerr is let go at some point, either during or after the season from the head coach. I feel he's lost that locker room. Chris Paul's hurt now. Draymond's back. Staying in the West, the Kings, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, and Davion Mitchell are all on the trade block. Again, these are great pieces for teams who are at the top. I think a couple of these pieces would be great in Minnesota. I think a couple of these pieces would be really good in Denver. I think these pieces could be great in Boston, in Milwaukee, in New York, in that top echelon of these teams who need these great rotational pieces. Moses Moody, Like I was saying, he's frustrated. Kuminga doesn't believe in Kerr anymore. I love the connection for him there. Draymond Green has returned to play. He'll return sometime this week. And I really think that's it as far as the rumors and the news. Like I said, Draymond's back. He lost about $2 million in total salary during his time out, which, of course, so now their tax bill will go from $192.5 million to $183.7 million, which is a savings of $8.8 million, and they also have a roster spot available. So not too bad to lose out on Draymond for that little bit of time. Siakam has come out and said he would prefer to reach unrestricted free agency in 2024. That's where you kind of have the connection to the Mavs, the Grizz, the Hawks, the Kings, and the Pacers. Tons of options if he does there. Draymond Green's back after missing 12 games. He'll miss probably another week. He'll miss about 15 total games. I didn't see this one. The Knicks extended Miles McBride 3-year, $13 million. Good for him. He's played really well this season. That rotation there. Let's see. Let's click on this one just because I'm really curious. The Lakers, they need to do something. They're not great. They've been struggling. They actually beat the Clippers tonight, Sunday night, but they're not good. The first trade here is the Lakers received DeJounte Murray and Garrett Temple, and they trade D'Lo, Taurean Prince, Max Christine, and a top 10 protected 2029 first. Hawks received, so I like that deal, for DeJounte and Temple and what's coming back to LA there. Atlanta would receive Pascal Siakam, Schroeder, and Christine. Hawks would lose DeJounte, DeAndre Hunter, and the 2029 first. So then this is where the Raptors come in. First deal here, D'Angelo Russell, DeAndre Hunter, Taurean Prince, and a top 10 29 first, and from LA, and a 29 first from Atlanta. Those picks that are 4, 5, 6 years out, they seem ridiculous in the moment, but the reason teams have those picks so many years out is that NBA teams, they don't just scout for this year and next year. They scout 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line. Who are the freshmen and sophomores in high school right now? Who are the guys that are balling out freshman year, who are just bigger for their class, who are just better and more athletic and more freaks right now in their classes? Those are the guys we're going to look for right now to bring in a few years. Another move here. This one's just the Lakers and Hawks straight up. DeJounte and Temple for Russell, Prince, and Christine, and a 2029 first. So this is just straight up. Really, the Hawks analysts are calling for the Hawks to ditch this. Their 2-point guard kind of experiment they've been running with Trey and DeJounte. I really like DeJounte as a 2 guard on the wing. I think he has some decent size. Raptors are starting the long overdue restart. They should have blown it up years ago, but they didn't. So that's kind of one idea of a trade. I like that 3-team trade between the Lakers, the Hawks, and the Raptors. I think each team, I really think the Thunder need to make a move, get better. They could use definitely, I think, a Pascal Siakam coming in that rotation just to help out. I don't think it would ruin things. I think it would definitely help them. The Thunder are a dark horse to land, like a Jordan Clarkson or maybe a Lauri Markkanen or maybe an Andrew Wiggins or just someone with just that deep playoff experience to really help this team down the stretch. I just wouldn't be surprised Boston making some of these more auxiliary moves as we continue on throughout the season, as we get closer to that February 8th deadline. Nothing's really going for Zach LaVine, like I said. Kyle Kuzma, multiple first-round picks. Hawks are open to trading Hunter Capella, DeJounte, so many. Lauri Markkanen probably won't be moved. And I think that's kind of it for all the news and rumors. Let's go ahead and hit my favorite thing here, to where we look at kind of who's going, where players are at right now based on kind of where we're at Um, oh, this is just kind of a fun thing. We'll take a quick transition. So this is just kind of fun. LeBron reportedly said that Bronny could play for the Lakers right now. So I don't know if that says more about Bronny or if that says more about the Lakers and kind of where they're at needing that kind of combo guard that Bronny is. I want to say Bronny's about 6'4" ish, plays a 1-2 guard. So we love that. Right now, as it stands, I love what Bleacher Report's doing. I'm not affiliated with Bleacher Report at all, but I love what they're doing, keeping their mock draft updated, keeping their NBA draft article updated. Number one pick, and I've been saying this all along, is Alexander Sarr. If he goes to the Pistons, I'm sorry. Um, Last week when we recorded, he was number 4 in the draft, but Alexander Sarr, without a doubt, is my number one pick. KK Cervenia Zavazada, I don't know where he's from. Europe. Megamis. He moved from Megamis to Red Star. He's in the Atlantic League in Europe, Euro League, just phenom. He's great. Washington Wizards, Zachary Reicher. Again, I really like this one. Small forward, 6'9". Gets comps to Michael Porter Jr. He plays for the French in France. He's shooting 47%, 91 on 91 3-point attempt. He's an LNB All-Star. He's been playing phenomenally. He's young. He's in 18. I really like him at number 3, up from 6. I think this 3 stays steady between Sarr, Topic, and Reicher. Really like those 3. And then 4, Hornets, Cody Williams. Cody Williams has just been climbing up draft board. The freshman, expected one and done from Colorado, is just great. He dealing with a little bit of a wrist injury right now there in Colorado, but I would bet on him leading Colorado deep in March Madness. Trailblazers are expected number 5 right now. Matas Pazulis, again, another guy who I think is right there at within the top 5. Last week he was number 1. He gets comps to small Franz Wagner, a 2-3 kind of guard wing. Really like Pazulis. Number 6, Ron Holland from the G League Ignite. He's down from 3. I really like him. Spurs, Rob Dillingham from Kentucky. Kentucky has just dudes this year. 1-2 combo guard, 6'3". He gets comp to Cardiac Kemba. His stock is up from 10 to 7. Jacoby Walker, Baylor, another guy who can lead his squad deep into March Madness. March Madness, I'm really looking at Kentucky, Baylor, and Colorado as my team. Jacoby Walker, he does get comp to Moses Moody, but 19, 6'5", 195, fresh or 2 guard. Just really good. Strength, athleticism, he's really good. Great jumper, just really good arch type. Then we got Reed Shepard, number 9. Again, another Kentucky. So 2 Kentucky guys in the top 10. Both are 1-2 guard. He's up from 15 into the 9th spot. Gets comp to Dante DiVincenzo. I don't know if that's just because he's wide or not. But his play is very similar as well. The 2 guard, the serious upside, incredible IQ, great shooting, great defense. He's adaptable. He's capable of impacting games without needing to create, without needing to get his, which scouts will, of course, love. He's hitting 60% of his 2-point shots, 56% of his threes, 90% of his free throws. So he's well over that, that 40, what's that, 40, 30, 90 or whatever it is, that we love to see even in the NBA now. The Rockets expected number 10. Another guy, Mark Williams. That's a great comp. We've seen Derek Lively and Mark Williams go top 15 in stronger draft. Missy, he's another one that should generate top 10 kind of output. Then we fall to 11, Tijani Saloon. I don't think we've really talked about him. Another young man out of France. Power forward, gets comp to Obi Toppin. Then we see Portland Trailblazers, Kyle Filipowski. This is the 12th pick out of Duke. So Duke's first one here, 7 foot, 4'5". Gets comp to Marquise Wagner. And then we finally have Isaiah Collier out of USC getting here at 13. So Collier was expected to be the top collegiate talent in the country coming in to draft season, draft prospecting, but he has fallen. Then we have Ryan Dunn at 14. Donovan Clingan from Connecticut at 15. Stephon Castle from Connecticut at 16. So definitely watch out for your UConn boys. Kevin McCullough Jr., Kansas. First Kansas. Then we got another J League Ignite with Tyler Smith at 18. Tristan De Silva, another Colorado product, coming in here at 19, so another top 20. Oldrich Kamachi, he's at the NBA Academy Africa and Cameroon. So he hasn't been on the board, but now he's looking in top 20. He's been playing really good at that NBA Academy. Miami Heat, Dalton Chinek out of Tennessee, so don't sleep on the Vols. Really, for college basketball, one or two guys can definitely lead a team. Indiana, another great. Indiana prospect, Kel'el Ware. I've definitely covered him before. He gets comped to Jarrett Allen, which is a huge compliment. 7-foot freshman, 242. Definitely has the size that you want coming out of college. Then we got Bobby Klintman at 23, coming out of Sweden. The Thunder, or projected Thunder 24, Melvin Ajinsa, also coming out of France. Dang, France has some ballers. Ajay Mitchell, Santa Barbara. So definitely don't sleep on Santa Barbara when it comes to the tournament either. Jared McClain, Duke, another Duke guy coming in at 26. He was off the board previously, so that means Duke's picking up their rotation to click in. Hunter Salas, Wake Forest. So again, don't sleep on Wake Forest. I definitely wouldn't sleep on Wake Forest and Baylor, or Kentucky and Baylor for sure. DJ Wagner, Kentucky. Gets comp to Colin Sexton, so just think Colin Sexton. Then we got Trevin Brazile from Arkansas, so another guy, don't sleep on Arkansas. And then, of course, Duke rounds out the first round with Tyrese Proctor going number 30 here. So that's the first round. We won't deep dive into the second round. Second round, we'll get there, but I just really like looking at the first round because it really gives you a good idea of kind of what colleges you want to be watching, thinking about. Kentucky, Baylor, Arkansas, Duke, Indiana, Tennessee, Santa Barbara, Colorado. All those schools that have the top tier collegiate talent are definitely the ones you want to be watching. Outside of that, I don't have too much. Let me check the mailbag if we have any questions. I want to say there wasn't any that came in, except to look at the rookie ladder, kind of give my prediction for a rookie of the year now that we're hitting some mid-season stride here coming up on the trade deadline, which means we're probably about 40 games in here. I want to say we are right at 40 or so. 19, 21. Yeah, we're right at that 40 game mark. So we're right about halfway through the NBA season this coming week. It's hard to say. The rookie wall is going to hit. We're coming up on that rookie wall, halfway point in the season. The fatigue sets in. We still got Chet. Chet's balling. Wemby at 2, Jaquez at 3, Brandon Miller at 4. Miller's definitely capitalized on having some opportunity with LaMelo out. With LaMelo coming back this week, it should definitely help him, but also hurt him at the same time. We got Derek Lively at 5. So I really like those top 5. I really love the top 3 of Chet, Wemby, and Jaquez. Chet's outplayed Wemby in every single aspect of the game. Really helped his team a lot more. Wemby's looked really good, but the Spurs are hot garbage. And then you got Jaquez, who is just absolutely phenomenal at number 3. He does a little bit of everything for the Heat. The Heat just need a little bit more teamness to get over that hump and get back in the East. I think they're in a play-in spot right now. Brandon Podziemski, Keontae George from Utah, Brandon Podziemski from the Golden State Warriors at number 6. George at 7. Scoot Henderson at 8. Oscar Thompson, Pistons at 9. Henderson plays for the Blazers, as you probably will know. And then Toumani Camara, so a pair of rookies in Portland, which is very, very, very promising. we're kind of exactly where we're at right now. I know the first fan vote came out. I did have a question about that. If I thought there was any obvious snub. Let me see here. I didn't think there was any obvious snubs. Of course, it's early. It's so early. So it's definitely hard to say who's who's winning, who's in, who's not. Because with this time, we just simply don't know. There's still a lot of time to vote. Try to see if I can find a picture of it. All-Star vote's low right now. Of course, you're gonna have Braun, Giannis. Kuzma's getting love. So I really like. Here we go. Let's see. We all know how the voting works. So you vote by going on the NBA's website, or I believe there's a hashtag on Twitter that you can vote as well. Where is it? Okay, so I'm not smart enough to figure this out and to find it, but it's still too early. Get me a little bit closer to. Let's talk about it when it's finalized. I don't want to speculate because someone could get hurt. Someone could just struggle and fall off. Someone can get a lot of hype, get a lot of love. So it could go either way. So I don't really want to get into that right now. Let's see. And then I have an MVP question. So if I had to pick my rookie of the year right now, it's 100% Chet or Jaquez. And I know that's a hot take. But if you think about it, it's Chet or Jaquez for the rookie of the year because obviously Embiid's been missing a lot of time lately, so it's really hard for me to see Embiid in the vote right now as the leading vote getter for MVP. We're kind of speculating, but he is. He's missed a lot of games recently. I don't know if he's returned since Christmas, but we got Embiid at number one. Of course, averaging 34.8 points a game, 11.8 rebounds, 6.2 assists. Without him, the Sixers are a different team. They don't have an identity. They're incredible overall. Let's see, Nikola Jokic, Mr. Triple Double, the Horseman himself. Of course, he's going to be at number 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, number 3. If he is not the best player on one of the best teams, then what are we doing in the NBA? Best player, best team, hands down. The Thunder are going to be one of the best teams in the NBA, and he's by far the best player. I would not be shocked if they have a better record than the Sixers and the Nuggets by the end of the season. I really think it's going to stay the Timberwolves and the Thunder, which means Anthony Edwards or SGA for MVP if it comes down to the West. If the Sixers are the number one, obviously best player, best team, if it's really that much of a discussion. Giannis at number 4, Luka at number 5. Luka by far is an MVP caliber top 5. I don't think this top 5 is going to change too much. I think this is the top 5 we're looking at as we go into the second half of the season. Our next 5, and these guys can jump at any time. We're going to see Jason Tatum, Celtics, Tyrese Halliburton, Pacers, Domantas Sabonis, who just keeps getting triple doubles like crazy. AD, and Ant's right there, of course, number 7. So at number 10 right now, he falls from number 7. But again, these are your top 10. Maybe trade Anthony Davis for LeBron, and you have your top 10. Maybe throw KD in there at some point. It's hard to take out. Maybe he has a better week or two than Sabonis or something. But it's really hard to deny what any of these guys are doing. It's nearly impossible. So they're great. So right now, if I had to pick my rookie of the year, my MVP, do I think it could be taken home by the Thunder? Yes, absolutely. It could be taken home by Chet and SGA. Will that happen? Probably not, because the NBA hates small market and they want to keep the bigger names better. So I would not be surprised if it goes to Embiid or Jokic and Wemby or something, just for that continuity, because, well, generational talent, we're going to give it to him. Who knows if that actually is going to be the case. So if I had to pick, I would for sure pick SGA Chet. Second place, my second pick, if I had to pick, is going to be Jaquez and probably Anthony Edwards for my top picks for an MVP and Rookie of the Year after that. beyond that, it's a quiet week. So make sure you guys head over to the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you get your content, and you go and leave some NBA related questions on this video on the page, in the comments, or wherever you find your podcast. Like, comment, share, leave me some mailbag questions to answer for you next week. And until then, we hope you have a wonderful and safe week. And we'll be back with you to talk about week 12 of Dynasty Down Under.